live and in magnificent color from west of the Rockies. It's Let's Make a Bacon with Ace. My voice does sound a little bit different right now, but that's because sometimes I forget I have asthma, and I'll start working on something, and then not take my inhaler, and then wonder, why am I out of breath? Why am I, man, I'm out of breath. So, oh yeah, I have asthma, duh. Yeah, so that's why I don't sound normal right now. I took my inhaler, so hopefully that'll resolve. But so we're up here on the roof of the RV. I got the AC unit here taken off. I got the aerial antenna there where there used to be an antenna aerial, of course. I got that taken out. Not going to be replacing that because it was just a nub anyway in the cable. And then this, I think, was the other part, maybe the resting place of the antenna when it was down. But I took off the first layer of rubber membrane, or rubberized membrane, and found this is very interesting. So this is the part where the water was pooling, and it was pooling often. And this piece is the only other piece in the motorhome to where from underneath you can tell that there was water damage because they had to replace the roofing. This shows that they replaced the plywood, probably sealed it, and then it was pooling and was leaking, so they, instead of pulling it up and making a bow, making a bow in the roof so that the water would go off, they tried to build up the center with fiberglass. And so this panel, underneath this panel, or on top of this panel, is epoxy fiberglass. And that way they tried to build it up. I was wondering why it was so rough, but even after all this work, it still stayed the lowest point, and instead of going, curved over the roof, this really, everything sloped down, and even without water in the back, it slopes down. So, I mean, this would be the natural progression because a lot of the roof isn't curved. But since this is not only sloped down this way, but it also has a bow downward, all the water still, went there. And you can see it from the rubber roof that I took off because that's where the dirt is. Where the water pools, the dirt will also pool. It's like a big pool. So you got that. I'm going to try to clean up the edges here. I'm going to be taking this off, but with it here, I don't know how much weight it can support, probably not much, but I'm going to try to at least clean up the edges here, remove the stuff over the top, because when I replace this, I'm going to try to make a curve so that the water actually goes down. And then the other thing I'm going to try to do is to make it so where, it's able to go over my silicone stuff. One thing I am noticing is that this roof, the wood, there are no, so far there are 0 screws. So this is adhered, whatever. It is attached by construction adhesive. Is my bet on this. So I'm going to be working on this today. I want to see what's underneath it, and when I do, I'll come back to you. All right, so got myself set up. Have myself Coke and a smile. Coke and a smile. Oh yeah. Shade. Get the metal folding chair. Holding that up. We got the cobalt level here, but I just wanted you to see. Can you see? I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. So there we go. So there's the level. So focus here. Focus, you sons of dishes. Okay, so as you can see, underneath, it's got dippage, major dippage. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. It's because, yeah, this is going to be, if I didn't fix this, if I didn't replace this, if I didn't make this some bubblage, yeah, the water, it doesn't matter what you would do. The water would just pool here. It'd be an indoor pool. Sorry about the, should have put it on airplane mode. All right, here's, yeah, but there it is. There it is right there. Got the cobalt level, it's on level. So right now I'm trying to take out these screws right here. Focus, you sons of dishes, piece of shit. I'm trying to take out these screws along this trim piece, and then I'm gonna remove the junk up front here. Point in the right direction, you dumb sons of dish. Gosh, allergies and asthma are exciting. So I'm gonna remove that trim piece, and then once the trim piece is removed and I clean up the front a little bit, then we will remove this board and see what is underneath. I bet you all didn't know that I had a gas-powered AC unit. I mean, you know, yes, it may look like an electrical AC unit, but if you get close and listen, see? It's got a Chevy V8 under there, underneath that hood. Oh yeah, that's real nice. Or it could be that the motor is throwing a bearing. I was thinking about replacing the motor, and then I stopped being stupid. This is an old unit. It on high it takes 1500 watts power and is incredibly inefficient, and is not rechargeable by regular means. You would have to have a HVAC person. Ooh, really kicked in there. An HVAC person come and you know, get up on the roof of this thing, or you take it off and take it down to them, and then they would cut the copper to where it's crimped, and I guess refill it manually. I don't know. They probably have a tool that penetrates the copper and you know, refills it, but it's just, you know, I'm realizing it's another penetration. It's incredibly inefficient. It's going to break. There's no parts available. I can't get the cowl hood thinguses because I got the other one. It's missing the shroud. The shroud. Man, I need another puff of my inhaler. I'm sounding like crap. Sorry. But I can't get the shroud for it. I can get the top. I can't get the bottom. And that's hundreds of dollars. So I'm like, okay, so I could spend $250 to get a shroud, another how many dollars to get a motor, and then still it's on top of the roof, so it's not going to be as efficient, and it's, you know, cooking in the sun, and these suck. These suck wangus. No wangus. Don't want the wangus. I'm good. If you're into the wangus, go for it. I'm not into the wangus though. So, man, I sound awesome. Whew. God, I sound awesome. But I think I've decided I'm going to remove everything. So this is going to come off. This is actually going to come back, but black. It's a vent. Are you freaking kidding? It's maybe that's meant for. Oh well, it looks real nice and new and black RVs. If you're RVing, you're going to RV in the sun. What the hell? Stupid. So that's going to have to come back. That's going to have to stay because that's a vent for the plumbing, I believe. But man, I wish I could just, to be honest, reroute that just a foot over and just I hate roof penetrations, I really do. So I got to remove this. This is for the water heater and the fridge when they're running off of the propane. I'll remove the solar panel, but the only things that are probably going to be put back on here after I do this work is either a painted version of this or a new version of this. Maybe, probably not, maybe, and that. I hate roof penetrations. I hate them. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. Because that's where you're going to have leaky. And I'm going to remove the ladder because it's already busted. And if I got on that, it would actually come off. So it's not on there anyway. I'm going to remove the awning. It's pretty haggard overall. And my idea for roofing this thing, because I was going to just remove the nasty parts and stuff like that, but I think because this is, I mean, it's so thin, man. It's so freaking thin. Like, it's the smallest little whiff of plywood, and that's a 2x4 for this AC thing, but that's foam everywhere else. And then the bottom, and then it's got ribs that go across. And it's like, why remove it? Why not go over the top of it? It's not so much, it's not so damaged that it's just rotted all to hell. It's just damaged enough to where it's not super physically integrated. I don't know what the word is. So, thinking that, I'm also thinking I got to remove, as part of the awning removal, I'm going to remove the gutters on the sides. So the water's supposed to go off the roof and down the membrane into this gutter. But then the gutter on that end is full of bullshit, and on the other end it's not. But the way that this slopes forward, the RV does. Man, it sounded like a real V8 back there. It slopes forward. So the water's supposed to just like fall off and not damage anything. It's stupid. So I'm thinking, so let me preface this. Do not try this at home. Do not do this at home. What I'm doing is not the professional way to do it. What I'm doing is not the right way to do it. What I'm doing is my way. This is an experiment. So know that up front. But please comment if you would love to share your tried and true pro ways. Feel free. I got no problem with that. This is just the way I'm going to be doing it. Will it possibly completely fail? Oh yeah, totally. It might. we might end up screwing the pooch here. But that's just the way it is. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. So, but I'm thinking OSB. So I need this is sloped in. It's not sloped, it's not curved out. So I need something, maybe it'll be a piece of wood. To be honest, maybe it'll be just a piece of PVC pipe, some Schedule 40. 1/4 inch. It depends. I'm going to do a trial on this front before I get crazy in anything else. And I'm going to put that in the middle so that it has something that will provide the curve and will provide ways to, a way to shed moisture, not just pool moisture, shed moisture. As I said, is this the way that it should be done? Probably not. Do I care? No, I'm doing it my way. I am Frank Sinatra, and this is my way. Because I was looking at this, I was doing a measure of, that wood to the fiberglass there, and the wood goes underneath too. So I was like, wow, you guys whoever built this and engineered this is a freaking dumb ass. because the water goes this way, and then it had this metal band that was screwed in and then caulked or whatever, of course, elastic. But if this elastic cracks, well, water takes the path of least resistance, and it literally is going to go straight underneath the fiberglass because the wood's lower than the fiberglass. It's like, man, you people are freaking idiots. But there's probably a reason. They're smarter than I am. Sometimes. Maybe not. But I'm going to take off this, and with the wood, I'm going to put up, I'm stinking, that I might do some metal drip edge. And put metal drip edge on this to where when the water sloughs down and sloughs off, that instead of going to a gutter that's just going to run it to the front and pee it somewhere, that it just drips off like a house. Maybe like a house that is in a high snow area, because that's where I am, high snow area. They don't have gutters here very often. And it's because the gutters, with the amount of snow we get, gutters are just going to come off anyway. So they have drip edge. And then a metal roof, and it just slides off. And it just slides off. Man, I got to get my asthma stuff. But I'm gonna clean this up some more in this area, and get the front to where it's ready to roll, and then I'm gonna go buy a piece of OSB and some Schedule 40, and I'm gonna see what it looks like, and I'm gonna go from there. Much love. Update to come. All right, so I got the roof coming together, and realized I needed to get the little gutter from the side down. Man, exhausted. Got the awning pulled down and cut off. They are not light. They have a good amount of gravity to them, that's for sure. Sons of dishes. But yeah, it was pulling off the gutter, and all the screws are rusted, and they weren't gripping anything. So yeah, it's a crazy. I got up top there, I got my Coca-Cola umbrella, metal chair with half a sandbag of playground sand on it, keeping it where it is. The setup would not work in a windy day, but I'm gonna go grab a chair and sit down for a little bit.